Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network this Thursday night. If you've been following the Fall Brawl Spectacular all this week, starting on Tuesday night, had a great night of racing with the pro late models here at Five Flags. Kicked off some qualifying action and heat race action to set up for tonight. The 250-lap feature of super late model race action, these 358 cubic inch, pushing out over 600 horse engines. They're definitely going to be ready to roll here at this half-mile track. Let's take a look at the race conditions real quick here tonight. They're going to be lining up the drivers up in the front stretch, and we're going to get to meet some of them here at Five Flags, the half-mile track. Weather information tonight, 72 degrees in the air, 63% humidity, some overcast, and a 72-degree night. Definitely a little bit cooler than we've seen in the past two nights here, and it's definitely going to be some great racing. These guys will be able to find some passing opportunities, to say the least. Just finishing up a little bit of hot lap action, and we are going to go down to the actual row of front stretch there. They're going to line the cars up, and we're going to get to meet the drivers in their lineup here tonight. But before we do that, let's take a look at the sponsors and give a shout out to them. H&H Sign Supply Incorporated, one of the major sponsors here for the 2016 Fall Brawl. HydesPride.com leather and sheepskin products. You can find those products on the web at HydesPride.com. The Button Box Shop. And if anybody doesn't know what a button box is, for sim racing world out there, they make an actual button box, like a box with a bunch of buttons on it. That way you can get the true simulation factor of what it would be like inside a car and pushing the buttons and switches that you would actually have inside these actual cars. So it's kind of a neat little thing that the Button Box Shop does, and we're happy to have them as a sponsor, as well as GM Parts Experts, quality GM parts. You can find them on the web at gmpartsexperts.com. And they're going to start to move up everybody onto the grid here tonight, and we'll go down and take a look at them, at the drivers here. As you see, one of the first drivers here tonight, the guy that's going to be on the pole out there, that is Tim Bills, the 37 car, making his way out there. We'll take it down a little bit closer. There he is. They're going to start to line up the rest of the cars. But while they're doing it, let's go down there and take a look at this 37 machine. That is Tim Bills, the driver out of Sturgis, Kentucky, part of the Wheelin' and Dealin' Motorsports team, H&H Sign Supply, and JustForCrafters.com, the sponsors on that car. He won the heat race last night to earn a front row starting spot, moved up to the pole position after Cody Kelly, the 75 car, withdrew from the race earlier today, was not able to make it. He had to withdraw from the race, so the spot was given to the 44 of Paul Fugit, and he's going to be moving up into Kelly's spot, but Tim Bills will slide over and take the pole position. That car right there, back behind him, the number 90 machine that we see pulling in now, that is the 90 of Joe Quinn. Joe Quinn out of North Royalton, Ohio. Last Row Motorsports is that car, sponsors on that car. And they're backing them in a little bit here. Try not to put too much damage on them as they back them towards the wall. They're going to be doing a nice little group photo. A 71 car as we move on down. Flip-flopping a little bit here. The 71 car that you see right there, that is Tom Wetmore out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Another Wheelin' and Dealin' Motorsports teammate, Polaris, the sponsor down there on that car, on the hood of the car. They're still navigating these guys. They can drive in circles really well, but when it comes to line up for a photo op, that's where it gets a little bit crazy. And the guy right there behind him, that number 57 car that just pulled in, you may have seen him if you follow the Peak Antifreeze Professional Series, sponsored by NASCAR and Peak Antifreeze itself. That is PJ Sturgis out of, I'm going to try to get this one right, Candia, New Hampshire. The NX Racing, iAnalyze Racing, and vracing.se, the sponsors on that 57 machine. He finished second in points in the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series by just 2 points in the professional series. So it came down to a close one this year, and Sturgis was able to claim the runner-up slot. Looking back behind him, that number 8 car that we see there, making his way out. We move on back just a little bit here. That is Derek Robinson. Derek Robinson out of Louisville, Kentucky, the T4X Racing teammate. Handsome Fellows Barbershop, the sponsors on that car. Currently running second in the SARA Super Late Model points. He'll be out here tonight, starting in the 5th position. How about in 6th tonight? Well, let's give a number 6. Take a look at that. That is Joe Schaefer Jr. out of Green Bay, Wisconsin, the T4X Racing teammate. H&H Sign Supply, Pathfinder, Joe's Racing Products, the sponsors on that car. And if you've been following the Super Late Model Series, Joe Schaefer Jr. is currently the SARA points leader, has 2 wins in that series, and he will be starting 6th here tonight. Looking back in 7th position here, it's going to be the number 91, and this guy has made a name for himself as of Tuesday night. Ty Majeski out on the field here tonight, folks. Ty Majeski out of Seymour, Wisconsin, the Posse teammate, and he's got a slew of sponsors down on there. I'm not sure who he's got on the hood of that car, but he's SARA's all-time wins and points leader and polls leader, And that 91 car will be starting 7th position here tonight. And those of you who know him in the real world, Majeski, 3-time ARCO Midwest Tour champion. Looking back to 8th position here tonight, the number 5. This guy normally runs in the race control booth for the most part, but he does run in the Super Late Model Series and is a little bit camera shy. He's not made his way out there yet tonight. Number 5 of Matt Rolfe will have to come back to him. Matt Rolfe out of Franklin, New Hampshire, the T4X Racing and H&H Sign and Supply machine, will be making his way out, I'm sure, momentarily. So we'll move on back to 9th position to the number 7 machine of Darrell Hamlin. Darrell Hamlin tonight out of Christiansburg, Virginia, the T4X Racing teammate H&H Sign Supply. Bluefield Radiator, the sponsors on that car. He will be starting 9th here tonight, and rounding out your top 10, that 89 car back behind him. Or, well, we could say beside at this point. Sure, we're going to see a lot of side-by-side racing action here tonight. The 89 of Jeremy Adams out of Corbin, Kentucky. Jeremy Adams Racing is the sponsor as well as Globalcom, but he likes to run that nice little color there with a bright pink number, and he will be rounding out the top 10 when we go to the grid. A little bit further back there, the number 92 of Ty Spearman. Ty Spearman out of Gaffney, South Carolina. The Posse teammate runs the 4S Sign and Supply of Gaffney, South Carolina, sponsors on his car. He's got 2 wins on the current SARA Super Late Model season. And he's one of the guys that definitely can work the outside line here at Five Flags. We'll have to see if he's going to do that here tonight. Moving on back into 12th position is the number 88 of Matthew Eddy out of Sanford, Michigan. The Howe Racing Don's Towing Machine. And a little bit, I want to say Monster Energy. Looks like a little bit of a Monster Energy logo on that, but we're just going to claim Don's Towing here. Matthew Eddy here tonight will be starting 12th. Looking on back in the lineup, the 39 of Bill Martin. As we try to find Bill Martin in our lineup page here. It says Bill Martin should be in 13th, but we don't see Bill Martin out there on the field. Not sure he's out there yet, so we're going to move on back here. Taking a look at 14th position here tonight. Joe Letterillo out of Hanover, Pennsylvania, the NX Racing Optimum Performance Racing sponsor there on that 30 machine. He was a solid contender in a lot of the heat race action last night. We'll have to see what he's got here in the 250-lap feature. He'll be starting 14th. In the top 15 here tonight, this guy we saw in the Pro Late Models make a statement. The 09 of Hunter Combs finished third in the Pro Late Models. Out of Mentor, Ohio, the Posse teammate FMF Chassis Works and Mission 22, the sponsors on that car. And again, Hunter Combs tonight starting 15th. Looking back to 16th position, the number 3 of Clay Snyder. Clay Snyder out of Newburgh, Indiana, the T4X Racing teammate. Sponsoring on the hood there, a remembrance for Brian Clausen, the sprint car driver, who tragically lost his life earlier this year. And he's been running that paint scheme all season, giving remembrance for what he has. And one thing to note about Clay Snyder, folks, transferred from the C main and B main last night to make it all the way into the feature. So a heck of a job done there by that 3 car. He will start 16th. Back in 17th position, the number 98 of Ian Lane. As we move on through, Ian Lane, the Lowe's machine that you see right there out of Mechanicsburg, Ohio. He's going to be starting 17th on the grid here tonight. Another solid driver that can really work his way around the track. In 18th position here tonight, the number 72 of Ben Nile. Back there right on the other side of Lane, the 72 of Ben Nile out of New Vineyard, Maine, the Toxic Media Solutions, Down East Chassis Works, Nile Gravel and Dirt Works, Nitro Trailers, C&S Computer Solutions. And I tell you what, folks, turn the page on the yellow book if we get another sponsor on that car. He will be starting 18th on the grid here tonight. Back in 19th, another guy with a slew of sponsors on that car. The number 2 of Scott Dunlap. Scott Dunlap is out of Covington, Pennsylvania, the T4X Racing teammate, the iRacing Today radio show. Clinton County Motor Speedway, Tykes Lager, Miller Racing Engines, and A&A Auto Parts are the sponsors on that Ford. And with a Ford, you definitely need a lot of sponsors. He'll be starting 19th on the grid. As we look back to 20th, it is going to be that 77 machine of Garrett Strakota. Garrett Strakota out of Wausau, Wisconsin. I hope I got that right. Dwayne Krieger Insurance, Hilltop Auto Wrecking, the sponsors on that 77 car. And again, he'll start 20th here tonight. In 21st position, the number 51. And as we look through our lineup here, I got a messed up lineup as far as my software is concerned. But the 51 of Sean Hatfield, he was a big hit out there in the chat room last night. Everybody rooting for a.k.a. Mr. Hattie, as they call him, out of Greenfield, Indiana. That 51 car tonight will be starting 21st on the grid. The 00 of Travis Halleck back there right behind him. That 00 machine here tonight out of I believe it's Seaverville, Tennessee, Overclock Motorsports. Old Smoky, Tennessee Moonshine. How about that? Looking for a good time? Check out that 00 car. He'll have some, I believe, in the pits when this is all said and done. So Travis Halleck tonight on the grid will be starting in 22nd position. Looking back into 23rd, the double nickel. That is Leighton Sybil. And Leighton Sybil here tonight momentarily as we try to dial him up. I'm not sure he's even out here on the grid as well, folks. Still trying to find that 55 car, and I don't see him down there. So we'll have to move on back to the 48 of Stephen Janis. And Stephen Janis giving me a little bit of heck last night on the pronunciation of his last name. Made sure 2 words, he said, Jan us. So Stephen Janis out of Niantic, Connecticut, is going to be starting 24th on the grid here tonight. Looking back behind him, we've seen number 6 in 6th, back in 25th. How about the 25 of Devin Rogers? And I know he's got a loyal fan base out of there. Tuning in tonight out of Columbus, Ohio. Give it up for Devin Rogers, the Howe Racing, Sizzle Marine, Jason Dietz Trailer Sales, and JVM Racing are the sponsors on that Chevrolet. Looking back into 20, and one more note I will say before we move on about Devin Rogers. He transferred, like Clay Snyder, from the C main to the B main to make it into the feature here tonight. So he has fought his way to be in the feature tonight, and we'll see if this 25 car, where he will end up when the checkered flag falls. Looking back behind him in Starting 26 on the grid, the number 32 of Trevor Edwards. Trevor Edwards out of Shepherdsville, Kentucky, the Wheel & Dealin' Motorsports teammate with the H&H Sign Supply. Somewhere on that car, but he likes to run the Menards paint scheme there on that. So Trevor Edwards starting 26th on the grid. At number 4 car of Russell Berry back there in 27th here tonight out of Colby, Kansas, Colby, Kansas, and the T4X Racing teammate Berry Trucking. Automotive Works MD, the sponsors there on that 4 machine, and a nice looking paint scheme to boot. So Russell Berry tonight, 27th on the grid. And I think we're going to have a fill-in here. The number 44 of Paul Fugit labeled as the last car on the field here tonight. Fugit labeled to start 28th out of Mount Vernon, Iowa, Lazy Days Racing, Iowa Lions Club, Meatball, Carolina Sim Skins, and Schroeder and Associates, the sponsors there on that 44 car. And I think we got somebody there on the end. I think that is Bill Martin sneaking in at the end. If I take a look at that paint scheme, he snuck his car in there. And Bill Martin right back there slides in at the end, the 39 machine tonight. Again, we said he's going to start 13th. Bill Martin out of Madison, Wisconsin, the Posse teammate American Motor Works on that car. He's got 2 wins in the current SARA Super Late Model Series. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to round out your lineup here tonight. 28 total cars taking the grid for the 250 lap Super Late Model feature. And again, folks, thank you for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network this Thursday night, however you're getting us, whether it's out there on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook Live, or even iRacing Live. We thank you for tuning in, and we'll be happy to bring this action your way momentarily. While the drivers start to make their way out to the grid, we can go ahead and take a look at tonight's lineup. We've talked about it. We just showed you, we introduced it, but let's put it together for you, folks, so that way you can take a look at it and know what to expect. As we bring up the grid here tonight, again, we told you the 37 of 10 Bills will be leading the crowd to the first green flag here tonight. Joe Quinn will be to the outside. Tom Wetmore, P.J. Sturgis, Derek Robinson rounding out the top 5. Joe Schaefer Jr., Ty Majeski, Matt Rolfe, Darrell Hamlin, Jeremy Adams rounding out the top 10. Ty Spearman, Matthew Eddy, Bill Martin, Joe Letterillo, Hunter Combs through 15. Clay Snyder, Ian Lane, Ben Niles, Scott Dunlap, and Garrett Strakota through 20. And rounding out the field tonight, Sean Hatfield, Travis Houck, Stephen Janis, Devin Rogers, Trevor Edwards, Russell Berry, and Paul Fugit. And these boys are ready to go racing here tonight. Pace car starts to take them around. And again, folks, my name's Dustin Caldwell. I'll be bringing the action as it unfolds here at Five Flags Speedway. Glad you could join us. Happy to be able to bring this race action to you. Again, the Sim Auto Racing Association Racing League. RaceSARA.com up in the top hand right is where you can go to find more information about them. We are ready to go racing. One more pace lap, and that pace car will be in, and we'll be off to the 2016 Fall Brawl Super Late Model feature here at Five Flags Speedway. For everybody watching out there, get ready to go because these boys are raring and ready to go. Pace car takes them into turn 3 and we're ready for racing. Here we go, pace car into the pits. Off of turn 4 to the green flag, it is Tim Bills and we're off to the race. Into turn 1 goes that 37, side-by-side action behind him. Into the backstretch, he leads over a 4/10 of a second gap to turn number 3. Quinn and Wetmore back there behind him, battling for second position. As they cross into turn number 1, Quinn to the outside of Wetmore. Wetmore is going to get second position in the backstretch here on lap number 2. But how about that number 8 of Derek Robinson to the inside of Quinn? Down the front stretch on the outside, Quinn will take over third position. The 91 of Majeski into the top 5 already. Schaefer Jr. just outside. That number 6 machine. Single filing out with PJ Sturgis behind him. Single file action into the turns 1 and 2 here on lap number 4. Looking outside the top 15, side-by-side action back here with the 00 of Travis Houck. Devin Rogers back there in 21st position already, making his move through the field. Ian Lane up there in the top 15, right behind Jeremy Adams. Still single file action up front. Let's jump back up as Tim Bills through turn number 2 has extended his lead to over 6/10 towards 8/10 of a second lead. Wetmore back behind him has Quinn now to the inside. Once again, side by side for second position. As they work their way into turns 1 and 2, now towards the backstretch, Joe Quinn to the inside of Tom Wetmore. Here comes the 91 of Majeski to the inside of Wetmore as well. Off of turn number 4, they are fighting. 3-car fight for second position. Right now, it's going to go to Quinn. Majeski sliding by Wetmore on the inside. He's going to move into third here in turn number 3 on lap number 8. Out of turn number 4. Once again, making it back to single file action. How about the double file behind him? Schaefer Jr. and Derek Robinson battling out. Currently battling for that 5th position slot. And right now, Joe Schaefer Jr. edging out PJ Sturgis and Derek Robinson. Sturgis still to the inside of Robinson. We've seen this happen on Tuesday night and in the heat races. Getting hung up on that outside groove can be devastating, and we're seeing Robinson fall back already here on lap number 10. Outside the top 5, Robinson currently running 7th in the battle with Ty Spearman. Side-by-side action into the backstretch. Spearman now works that inside groove. He's looking to get around. Sturgis just ahead of him. Nowhere to go for the 92, so he's going to have to run in 7th for a while. Bill Martin looking eager to get around, contemplating which lane he wants to choose as he's now going to swing wide, but he'll come back down to the lower groove here in turns 3 and 4. Spearman to the inside, cannot shake loose that number 8 car on the outside, but he is holding on to his 7th position slot. Back up front, here comes Tim Bills into the front stretch, and take a look at that lead. This 37 car with the series, the Fall Brawl Spectacular sponsor on the hood, has taken over a 1-second lead here on lap number 14, and right behind him, one of the top contenders to watch out for, that is Ty Majeski. Started 7th already, and in the first 15 laps climbed up to 2nd position, and he's going to start to run down that 1-second gap towards Tim Bills. And more single file action as we look at Spearman now. Able to get around Bill Martin. How about that? Got around Derek Robinson, but he's going to have a push in turn 4, and that's going to possibly open up the doorway. Robinson not able to take advantage of that, but Martin here tonight starting 13th. He's up into 8th position already. out of turn number 4. Following Ian Lane as he looks to the inside of the 7 of Darrell Hamlin. Some hard charges already, and Ian Lane looking to gain 2 slots, and he's going to do it in turn 3 here on lap 18. Started 17th, currently running 15th, and he just edged out that H&A Sign Supply machine of Darrell Hamlin. Schaefer Jr. off of turn number 4. Started 6th. He's up 1 position, trying to catch Wetmore, who's up there in 4th. How about that lead gappage now? Almost halved in the matter of 4 laps as Ty Majeski. Take a look at that. Majeski now has closed it around 0.6 to a half a second. He is coming quick for Tim Bills, closing that gap. Battle back with Ty Spearman as PJ Sturgis on the outside. The 92 machine is going to look to the inside. Side-by-side action off turn 4. Sturgis to the high side into turn 1. Swinging way wide, but staying competitive. Bill Martin looks to seek to gain a position on the inside. Out of turn number 4, here comes Spearman in 6th position. Sturgis 7th, Martin 8th. Jeremy Adams looking to get to the inside of Matt Rolfe. Rolfe currently running in 12th position. Up there in the high groove. Started 8th, he's running 12th. And one of the few guys brave enough to chance the outside line, and it's working well for him. Others diving it down close to the apron. He's staying up midway part of the track. Adams, nothing doing there. Ian Lane back behind Adams. Take a look at this. Into the front stretch towards lap 27. Tim Bills can now see the 91 of Majeski approaching as he gets under a quarter second. So an 11-lap variant, folks, he has dropped 3/4 of a second off the lap, or leader's lap time, to catch him here in turns 1 and 2. And if I'm Tim Bills, I'd be really worried that this 91 car has the fast car of the night. Here they come into the front stretch, into lap number 29. Wetmore looking to the inside of Quinn out of turn number 2. Back in 4th position, off of turn 4. PJ Sturgis, the 57 car, had a peek to the inside of Bill Martin. Nothing doing there. He's going to work that backstretch. Started 4th here tonight on the grid, running 8th. Heading into lap number 31. Pretty much a single file line. As we take a look back to 22nd position, the 25 of Devin Rogers. Out of turn number 4. Started 24th, he's in 22nd, trying to hold off that 44 of Paul Fugit. Back there behind him. Into the backstretch, Joe Schaefer Jr. into the top 5. Can see Ty Spearman now approaching, and how about Wetmore? He's looking to the inside of Quinn. Side-by-side action in turn number 2. Wetmore can't get around Quinn. And amazingly, they both are going to work up the track in turns 3 and 4. It's very impressive to see the outside line coming to life here with 72 degrees at the start of this race, and we only know it's going to heat up as these cars start to lay rubber down, and they can see the rubber line taking a look down to the inside part of that track as they head into 1 and 2. Notice how dark it is down there. That is a lot of rubber laid down from practice here tonight in the hot lap action that they had earlier. It's a little bit slicker conditions. I think they're working for some grip up there in that mid groove. But Ty Majeski, folks, has taken the lead here on lap 37. About a couple laps ago, he was able to get around Tim Bills. One of the few drivers confident in running the lower groove here tonight, works his way into lap number 38. Tim Bills led a total of 30 laps before the 91 took over, and Majeski working towards his 8th lap lead on the night as he comes off of turn 4 into the front stretch. Bill Martin still trying to work up towards position number 6. Kind of a blended line he's running here tonight, both working the outside groove there. A little bit of push, though, that time in turn 4, and Sturgis right there, not too far behind him. Sturgis about 0.6 of a second behind Martin. You take a look at his fast lap time here tonight, 16.24. Last lap was a 16.93. That's a heck of a lot of fall off in a matter of 40 laps. Had to keep it PG-13 for you there. And we showed you Sturgis back in 8th. Let's take a look at Majeski up front. His fast lap time here, 16.19. His previous lap, a 16.92. Not a lot of difference at this point in time. These drivers have scraped a lot of grip off these tires and have lost a lot here in the matter of just 44 or 42 and a half, we could say, laps completed. Lap traffic ahead for Majeski, the 77 of Strakota. He's going to swing up wide and allow the 91 by on the inside down the backstretch. Expect to see the 77 car go wide as he does up towards the wall. A little bit of courtesy and etiquette for the lead lap car to go by on the inside. Schaefer Jr. Spearman now battling, as Schaefer Jr. staring down the inside of Quinn yet again for that 4th position slot. He's going to be side by side with Quinn for a moment. An outside groove catching that momentum off turn 4. No aggression from Quinn. He's just running his lines, and Schaefer Jr. working that inside groove. Once again, trying to get side by side with the 90 car. Strakota up to the high side, Wetmore to the inside of the lap car. And if you're Joe Quinn, you're about to get pinched. What is Strakota going to do? He swings down to the inside line. This is going to shake some things up. Lap car, where is he going to go? Garrett Strakota, the 77 car, and a little checkup action there out of Quinn. And that's going to give the 4th position slot over to the 6 of Joe Schaefer Jr. as he now moves to the inside. So a little navigation there around a lap car creates a big hiccup, and we see Joe Quinn in the battle for 4th now fall back to 7th position. And Ty Spearman now getting a run on the inside. Here comes the 92 car. Side by side with Schaefer Jr. into turns 1 and 2. Spearman looking to get that 4th position slot early on here in lap 50. Bill Martin following the 92 car to the inside. Schaefer Jr. is going to fall back to where he started on the grid, back to 6th position. And we've officially completed 50 laps of this 250 lap event. Caution free, mind you, folks. Good quality racing put on by the Sim Auto Racing Association. And as Schaefer Jr. battles with Bill Martin, I tell you what, let's take a look on board. We're going to go on board with the 6 machine. Give you the perspective down there on the track and what this driver is seeing down there tonight, back there behind Ty Spearman. You can hear how much he has to let off and work that throttle as he comes off turn 4 into the front stretch. He's hitting speeds as well as 90 miles an hour. That is what is going on board with the 6 of Joe Schaefer Jr. Side-by-side action still continuing. Let's jump on back. Another driver who's moved up the field just a little bit. Started 24th, 4 positions gained, Devin Rogers. Across the start-finish line into lap number 56. Has the 88 of Matthew Eddy now behind him. His fast lap time here tonight, 16.26. Previous lap was a 17.12. But he continues to work his way as it looks like Ben Nile just ahead was looking a little bit loose. Eddy looks like he's working the outside. Back up to that 6th position slot, we got a battle in progress right behind Schaefer Jr. as the 57 of Sturgis battling side by side with the 39 of Martin. Into the front stretch, across that start-finish line, Sturgis edges out Martin to take 6th position. And again, if we haven't mentioned it here tonight, you're just tuning in, $600 worth of payout to this field tonight. $100 going to the winner of this race. And I believe they're paying out through position 29, so 28, 29. So everybody is going to get something here tonight. At least, at the most part, their entry fee. Jumping back up front, Ty Majeski running into heavy lap traffic now in turns 1 and 2. Majeski looking to the inside of the 00. Still continues to fight through that lap traffic. And the driver he's looking to pass, the 00 machine of Travis Howe, currently running 25th position. Scott Dunlap just ahead in 24th. And Majeski continues to work through the field. And we've shown you Devin Rogers' time back in 20th position. Take a look at Majeski's time, 16.19 is his fast lap time. His last lap was a 17.07. So even though somebody's sitting back in 20th position, it is a very competitive field here tonight. And Majeski works around Dunlap. Bills navigating the lap traffic as well, back in 2nd position. And about the time you start to see cars working through lap traffic, that is where the tension builds. As Ty Spearman now into 3rd position ahead of Tom Wetmore across that start-finish line into lap 67. Battle now with Sturgis and Schaefer Jr. into turn 3. Sturgis trying to edge out that 6 car. Can he seal the deal? He will in the front stretch. That 57 car of P.J. Sturgis, and we were just talking about it. And oh my goodness, there is a big incident. Ben Nile, end over end, side over side. Let's go back and take a look at the replay. And Ben Nile. See, Eddy was able to get around Rogers. Rogers battling side by side with Fugan on the inside. And it looks like Matthew Eddy is going to be the aggressor here, looking to the inside of Nile off of turn number 2. And no, Nile is just going to snap from the apron And a wicked move. He's going to go right up to the wall. Snap. Devin Rogers is going to make contact. Fugit's going to come off the wall. And how about that air time right there with Ben Nile? Sparks are going to fly for the 72 machine. He's going to continue to roll, and no number up on top. It has been completely scraped off and officially ending up turtled, as they call it. That is like a turtle on its shell is the term when a car ends up on the roof, and he's going to need it pushed over. So Ty Majeski is going to come down pit road and take some tires, but Tim Bills will stay out. Let's wait momentarily here and see what happens if any drivers decide to come down pit road and take some tires early on. With that being said, let's take a look at your top 5 and race summary here on lap number 72. So the 37 of Tim Bills, 34 laps led here tonight, currently up front. The 71 of Wetmore, the 57 of Sturgis, the 6 of Schaefer Jr., and the 90 of Quinn. Your top 5 heading towards lap number 73. 71, now 72 laps completed. 2 lead changes here tonight, 1 total caution as we get the 1 to go signal from the pace car. And again, thanks for tuning in this Thursday night to capture the Fall Brawl Spectacular put on by the Sim Auto Racing Association here at Five Flags Speedway. And Bill's out of turn number 4, ready to go racing. Back to the green in turn number 1. And Tim Bills leads the field into the backstretch with Wetmore behind him. Sturgis back in 3rd, Schaefer Jr. 4th, but Quinn's looking to the inside. A staggered 3-wide action. Off a turn 4, and it closes like an accordion. Schaefer Jr. able to edge out and hold on to that 5th position slot. Still side-by-side action back there with Letterillo and Robinson. They are battling hard, Letterillo tonight. Started 14th, and he's up to 7th, halved his way up the field. How about that? Now he moves his way into 6th as he gets by Robinson. Ian Lane looking to the inside of Derek Robinson. Sturgis challenging Wetmore for 2nd as they come into the backstretch. Side-by-side action for 2nd position. Quinn right there behind Sturgis. Into lap 78, they are battling hard, and Sturgis is going to win the battle. And he's going to take over 2nd. Quinn is going to sneak by in 3rd. And that will relegate Wetmore back to 4th position, right in front of Joe Schaefer Jr. Trevor Edwards, the 32 Menards machine, starting 25th here tonight, has worked up into 9th position. Matt Rolfe back behind him. Another driver outside. Was going to be outside the top 10, but he has now worked his way up into 10th position. Spearman battling with Hatfield. Now Hatfield, another driver, outside the top 20, currently running 13th. Right behind Clay Snyder, and he's working that outside groove, trying to make it work for him. Bill Martin back behind Spearman. as we look towards the rear of the field, Steven Janis tonight, the 48 machine, back in 24th position. Down one, side by side with Matthew Eddy into lap number 84. Tim Bills crosses the start-finish line to pick up 47 laps led here tonight on lap number 85, and he's working his way into the backstretch. Currently has about a half a second lead over the 57 of Sturgis, and folks, we just got some news. The 72 of Ben Nile has officially bowed out of the race here tonight. Paul Fugit, another driver, not able to continue, and for some reason, Ty Majeski down there on pit road has not come out back onto the field. The heavy hitter tonight, 37 laps led for the 91 of Majeski, and he is sitting down on pit road. I'm not sure if there was a miscommunication trying to get some tires. He is still sitting on that inside. Tim Bills crests over 50 laps led as he works his way into the backstretch towards turn number 3. Letterillo back in 5th position. How about that driver? Starting 14th, and he's up to the top 5. Oh, a little contact back there between Schaefer Jr. and Edwards as they're duking it out here for 7th position. Edwards to the high side across the start-finish line. These guys fighting for every inch of this track that they can get here tonight. And Edwards going to pass on the outside to take up 7th position here on lap 90. Letterillo to the inside of Wetmore. He's stalking the 71. What's he going to do? In turns 3 and 4, side by side. This guy is a hard charger tonight. That 30 car of Letterillo. Into the backstretch on lap 92. Still trying to clear the 71. So admits the first caution tonight. The 91 of Majeski was involved in that caution. Fortunately, ending his night early on. It's a tough break there. As we had talked about earlier, when they start to get into lap traffic, things can get hectic. And it's proof right there. Still watching these guys battle here for 5th position and 4th. Letterillo working every inch, trying to get past that 71 car. More lap traffic ahead as Paul Fugit up to the high side as they come off of turn 2. Taking a look back, Ty Spearman's going to make a move for the inside of Derek Robinson off of turn number 4, the 92 car, trying to get in the top 10. He's going to do it out of turn number 2, barely edging out Robinson. Into 3 and 4, now the front stretch he goes. He's cleared him. Robinson liking the outside group, no crossover action heading into 1. Jeremy Adams able to get by Schaefer Jr. Adams here tonight, starting 10th. He's in 9th. As Bills crosses the start-finish line, works his way into triple-digit laps here tonight. 62 laps led, a fast lap time 16.1. Previous lap about 1 second off with a 17.1. PJ Sturgis back in second position, about a half a second behind him. Big pack battle action here as we see the 44 Fugit to the high side. Robinson and Hatfield to the inside. Hatfield back in 12th position. Bill Martin back there in 13th. Still some action on the outside as Bill Martin takes a peek to the outside of Hatfield into turn 1. Question is, does he got the momentum? After surviving the first caution here tonight, the 25 of Rogers still back in 20th position. He received a lucky dog on the last restart. They allowed him by the pace car, got back on the lead lap. Currently ahead of the 7 of Darrell Hamlin. He's sticking with it. Tim Bills now into the front stretch into lap 106. Sturgis can't crack that 410. Overall out of turn number 2. Garrett Strakota ahead, the 77 machine. Letterillo and Wetmore battling it out. Or excuse me, Lane. He's got around Wetmore. He's battling with Ian Lane, the 98 Lowe's machine, the Mechanicsburg, Ohio driver. And this time the 30 of Letterillo's on the outside line. Ian Lane looking like he might clear him in the front stretch, and he's going to do it. How about that? Ian Lane has now moved into 4th position, started 17th on the grid. It starts to make you think of some of these guys sandbagged a little bit as they are able to hard charge their way through the field. Russell Berry now looking to the inside of Robinson in the battle for 13th position. Down the backstretch in the 3rd turn. Rolfe behind Berry. And it looks like Berry will clear Robinson. Rolfe going to slide by on the inside. Robinson pushes way up the track. He's currently running 15th position. Ian Lane gets around Joe Letterillo and working his way through lap traffic. That is Garrett Strakota, currently 2 laps down. Letterillo will look to the inside here in turns 3 and 4. Nice green flag run. If you're just tuning in, the first caution flag of the night came out on lap number 67 when Ben Niles snapped Wicked loose off of turn number 2. And I say wicked as it was a weird angle and he went right up into the wall, and that not only ended his night, but Ty Majeski got caught up in that as well, and that ended the 91's night. Hunter Combs, the 09 machine, reported to have mechanical problems on his car. He is now sitting down on pit road. Not sure we're going to see that car back out on the field. Tim Bills still into lap traffic. The 48 of Stephen Janis just ahead is going to swing wide and allow the lap or the leader go by, and he'll go down another lap. So Janis will fall to 2 laps down. Sturgis now by the inside. Darrell Hamlin just ahead. One of the few cars hanging on to a thread onto the lead lap as the leader Tim Bills approaches from behind. If passed, Hamlin will go 1 lap down. Into the front stretch, lap 120 for Tim Bills. 82 led on the night. And now Bills will look to put Darrell Hamlin 1 lap down, this time by almost a high five from the H&H Sign and Supply, as one will pass the other. Trevor Edwards back behind Tom Wetmore, trying to get something going here in 7th position. Been in the top 10 ever since we hit triple digits. Started 25th here tonight. Wetmore, Letarilio looks to the inside of Fugit in turn 3. Paul Fugit currently 22 laps down in 24th position, and Trevor Edwards had to make a decisive move there. Nearly went into the back of the 44 car. Wetmore trying to gain some ground on Letarilio, currently running 6th. At 71 car into turn number 4. Heading towards lap 125. Next time by for Tim Bills, it will be the halfway point of tonight's race. Officially say we're in the back half now. And if you tuned in to watch the heat races last night, as well as the pro late models on Tuesday night, tire decision, pitting strategy, a major factor here at Five Flags. Drivers have to figure how long are they going to hang out in their current position before they go down pit road. And if you're Tim Bills right now, you're looking pretty solid, laying down a 17.25 lap time, still holding on to a 4/10 of a second lead over PJ Sturgis. At this point in time, it's not really a battle at all to worry as far as getting tires. And now Tim Bills looks to put Devin Rogers 1 lap down. Rogers currently running 20th. Wetmore has closed the gap on Letarilio. How about that? Out of turn number 2. Wetmore less than a quarter second behind. Off of turn number 4. Steven Janis, the lap car, just ahead of Joe Letarilio. Russell Berry sees some action just ahead as Matthew Eddy looking to the outside of Sean Hatfield. And Darrell Hamlin, the lap car, looking to move his way through the mix. Tim Bills edging closer and closer to Rogers' bumper off of turn 4. Hamlin to the inside of Bill Martin on a fresher set of tires. I believe Hamlin was able to go down pit road and pick up his set of tires. Going to try to gain some positions back as he pulls away from Bill Martin. Tim Bills has gotten around lap traffic, and now PJ Sturgis to the outside looks to challenge for the race lead. Side-by-side action into turn number 4 and leading into the front stretch, PJ Sturgis to the outside. Tim Bills, who has led almost 100 laps here tonight, looking to be knocked off as the 57 of Sturgis is doing it on the outside groove. Ladies and gentlemen, into lap 138, we've got a new race leader. And the 57 of PJ Sturgis, his first lap led on the night. To the inside of Shirkota. How about that shake up there? A driver that has been following the 37 car about 4/10 back, snuck up and swung around the outside on Tim Bills, and now pulls away to look over a half a second lead. More lap traffic ahead, and the question you got to ask, how is he going to navigate this and stay up front? This is a golden opportunity for Bills to close the gap here off of turn 4. Fugit ahead as Houck's on the bottom line. Clay Snyder in front of Houck. Sturgis to the inside of Fugit. Off of turn 4, around Houck. Houck's going to swing wide in turns 1 and 2. Still maintaining the half a second lead. Class act right here, the 57 of Sturgis, showing you why he is a pro driver in the Peak Antifreeze Series, and not only that, finishing in the runner-up slot. Looking to the inside of Clay Snyder now. Tim Bills, half a second back. Ian Lane approaching Tim Bills as well, closing the gap. Sturgis looking to the outside of Snyder. He's going to swing it by, cross it over to the inside in turn 3. Snyder tips the hat to the lead lap cars. Ian Lane looking for a passing opportunity. Tim Bills goes down underneath. Clay Snyder in turn 4. Lane follows him. Back behind Lane is Joe Quinn. This is your 4th position driver. Was second on the grid tonight. Has just got around Devin Rogers. And about 2 3/4 seconds behind Ian Lane. So the top 3 drivers way ahead of everybody tonight. Out of turn 4, Sturgis over a 1 second lead. Now you talk about tire fall off. Look at that, 1 second tire fall off since his fast lap tonight. And I tell you what, folks, this guy is lit up now, and he is running, but fresher tires coming from the 51 of Sean Hatfield. He's going to gain a lap back as he passes the leader. Scott Dunlap ahead, and we've got our second caution flag on the night. Searching through the field. Not really seeing anything here. Checking with race control to see if they had seen anything. But that is going to bring Tim Bills down here on lap 151. 100 laps on those tires. He's going to go for a new set. The 2-man pit crew will go to work on that 37 machine. And though it looks like they're sitting there talking, we do see the right side come up. Derek Robinson back behind, Joe Quinn, Tom Wetmore. The three drivers there. Left side's going to come up. They're going to get their other two tires. It's amazing how fast these guys can work. They don't even look like they're moving. Tim Bills comes off of pit road. Getting some fuel out of that as well. Set up for the final 100 laps here tonight. He's going to have a little bit less than that coming off of pit road. Bills leading 99 laps. The last time this guy has led over 90 laps, race number 1 in the SARA, the Sim Auto Racing Association's Super Late Model Series, tagged the wall out of turn number 2, was passed, and he ended up finishing second in that race. Sturgis is going to stay out. And the whole slew of the field coming down for their pit stop. So a little bit action here as far as shifting the lineup. Once they cross that start-finish line, we'll get the top 5 for you. As the lights come off the pace car, let's take a look at your top 5.
All right, man. Like you back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going
Race
green.
control suspending, going back to green by 1 lap here as the lineup was not ready to go. But in your top 5, the 57 of Sturgis, Letterillo, Spearman, Martin, and Lane. Even though it's scoring Lane in 6th, I think that's because Tim Bills is supposed to be up there in the 5th position. A little bit of adjustment here. Let's see how the lineup shakes out. And it's got Tim Bills up there, so he's got to get up there into that 5th position slot. Race summary here tonight. 155 completed. It's going to be lap 157 when we go back green. 3 lead changes, 2 total cautions. And again, this is the Fall Brawl Spectacular Super Late Model Race here at 5 Flags. Sturgis to set the pace. There goes the pace car into the pits. Out of turn number 4, he takes off. And we're back to the green on lap 157. Wasting no time, catching Letterillo asleep. And that 57 car jolts out to a 6/10 of a race lead. In turns 3 and 4, Letterillo out of turn number 4. Trying to hold off Spearman. And how about the rest of this field with a fresher set of tires? These boys are going to come quick. Among those, that 37 car of Tim Bills. Ian Lane now looking to the inside of Spearman in turn 1. Side-by-side action into turn 3. It's going to go the way of the 98 of Ian Lane. Lane looking to the inside of Letterillo. He's going to get loose. He's going to tag the wall. Letterillo's going to fall back as he swings up to the white groove. Lane now in 2nd position, right behind him, Joe Quinn and Tim Bills. Edwards looking to the inside of the 30 car. Boy, is he falling back quick. The ace in the hole for Letterillo will be a late set of tires if there is a caution. He's going to be passed in a hurry by all these guys who took the fresh set of tires at the 100 lap mark. And now Ian Lane crests past PJ Sturgis on the fresher set, and he takes over the lead. We've got a new leader here on lap 163. So the chess game begins. These guys eager to take their set of tires, get up front. Lane into his 2nd lap lead on the night. Back behind is Quinn, Bills, and Edwards. Rolf now into the top 5 as he's able to edge out Sturgis. So Sturgis, in the matter of a couple laps, has fallen from 1st to 6th position. But again, can't stress it enough. Pit strategy. He elected to stay out when everybody else went in. The scale of positioning will shift later on in this race, pending a caution. And if you know anything about this abrasive track as described by Ty Majeski, you can almost anticipate there is going to be another caution flag. Hatfield now by the inside. Hatfield, though, scored a lap down. 12 cars on the lead lap. Back behind Sturgis is actually this guy right here, Jeremy Adams, who's behind Scott Dunlap. Tom Wetmore, another one of those drivers who didn't take tires. Currently in 12th position, last car on the lead lap. Janice and Rogers are battling out side by side. Janice, though, is currently 5 laps down. Rogers has moved up to 19th position. Fortunately, 1 lap down at this point. Joe Quinn under 0.3 of a second coming off of turn 4, right behind the 98 of Ian Lane, who has now picked up a total of 10 laps led tonight here at 5 Flags. Just a few more laps and we'll be hitting that 75 lap mark. Sturgis has fallen back to 8th position as Clay Snyder's going to pass him on the inside. Sturgis led a total of 25 laps after passing Tim Bills. And his lead was short-lived when the caution flag came out, but he was over a 1-second lead. Ball few get up to the high side as Ian Lane looks by. Devin Rogers ahead of Ian Lane. And Ian Lane is coming quick. Rogers will swing up to the high side. Here in turn 3 and allowed. Oh, he's going to tag the wall. Nice little battle back here as Clay Snyder trying to get towards Jeremy Adams. He's got about 4 lap cars in the way. Adams currently in 6th. I don't know what it is about drivers placing in their respective car number position, but right now Matt Rolfe in the top 5 in 5th position. We saw Schaefer Jr. start 6th in the 6 car, and the 25 car starting in 25th position. Devin Rogers starting in 25th position, and Rolfe now into 5th. So how about that, folks? 6, 5, 25. Pick 3 right there. There's your winning lottery numbers. Back up front, Ian Lane. Under 0.2 of a second lead over the 90 of Joe Quinn. Tim Bills in his fresh set of tires back behind Quinn. Into the backstretch, they battle yet again. Here on lap 183, less than 75 to go. Trevor Edwards will go to the inside of Wetmore. Wetmore has now gone one lap down, which leaves 11 cars on the lead lap. The last car is this guy right here, the 39 of Bill Martin. Last car on that lead lap currently. Let's take a look about right around it as Ian Lane's right behind him. I'm saying it's about 16 seconds behind the leader. And I take a look back, and right there is the leader, Ian Lane, looking to put the 39 of Bill Martin. He runs the 65 in the Super Late Series, and they got a wall. Spearman and Martin are holding him off. I don't know if this is a comical effect here. You're Ian Lane. It's got to be frustrating as you want to get around him. He's going to swing up high. Here comes Joe Quinn to the inside. Quinn's going to be side by side with Lane. Out of turn 2. Lane's going to tag the wall. Sparks are going to fly. And take a look at this. Like sandbags to the Mississippi, Spearman and Martin are holding off the ever-progressing Quinn and Lane. They can't go any further. If there's anybody outside the top 5, they're going to start to gain some ground. A lap car for each lane. Into the front stretch, into lap 191. Less than 60 laps now remain, folks. And a shake up there. How about that? Joe Quinn finds a way to the inside in turn 2. And he's going to go to the race lead. Tim Bill sneaking by the 3-wide action on the inside. Off of turn 4, it continues into the front stretch. What a devious move by Joe Quinn to stay in that low groove. Ian Lane was way up on the high side. And Ian Lane has since fallen back to 4th position. Quinn has taken over the race lead. What a strategy and how that played out for the 90 car. Letterillo, 9th position driver, looking to go one lap down as the race leader Joe Quinn to the inside. Tim Bills looking to go by this time in turn 3 as the 30 car is going to swing wide. Garrett Strakota up ahead yet again. Strakota currently 5, now 6 laps down as the race leader passes by on the inside. Pretty much even race, folks. Pretty much an even race up until the point of the caution flag. The last one to come out, folks, is what's shooking up this field just a little bit. Lap 149 is when it had come out. Right before that 100 to go lap mark. And how about this? The guy who's led 25 laps here tonight. Just ahead, Derek Robinson, who is currently, I believe, 1 if not 2 laps down. PJ Sturgis trying to hold on as we crest over 200 laps. It'll be less than 50 to go when we see Quinn cross that start-finish line as we watched. Sturgis head into 1 and 2. He's about a half a lap ahead of Quinn, and now Tim Bills is challenging for the race lead yet again. Side-by-side action into the third turn. Tim Bills looking for the race lead. Yet again, total of 99 laps led here tonight. He's going to fight for it. Not this time by across the start-finish line. But he is still battling hard on the inside. Into the backstretch towards that third turn. Less than 50 laps to go. Tim Bills putting the pressure on Joe Quinn. Not able to get around him, but amazingly, Quinn, and you can take a look at that outside groove. A little bit of rubber's been laid down on the outside. He's still staying competitive. Oh, but it looks like Bills has got him out of turn 4 into lap 204. The 37 of Tim Bills has crested 3 digits. Picks up 100 laps led here tonight. 25 car of Devin Rogers ahead. Will swing wide in 4. And he's way up there on the wall. Some sparks are going to fly. Into the front stretch, into lap 206. 102 laps led for the 37 machine. A fitting day it would be if the series major sponsor, the Fall Brawl major sponsor, H&H Sign Supply, would have their featured winner, Tim Bills, who carries the sponsorship on the hood of the car. Might think there's a little bit of a conspiracy there. Somebody paid somebody for some extra horsepower. Into turn number 3, Jeremy Adams just ahead of Russell Berry. Not a position battle here as Berry looks to the inside. Sturgis getting closer and closer as you see Tim Bills back behind him. He's getting close to going 1 lap down. Hoping, wishing, praying for a caution flag to come out so he can go down pit road and get the fresh set of tires. Oh, what a day it would be for the 57 car, the guy who tonight has looked so fast once he's got up into the clean air, and now Bills by Strakota. And Sturgis. Sees the race leader behind him, closing the door on a hope. And even if a caution flag come out and he was able to go down pit road, the question is, could he get down there fast enough so he could get the free wave around, get back on the lead lap, and fight? But time is running out, and so is the distance. Tim Bills, the race leader, behind P.J. Sturgis, who is in 8th position. These two drivers at one point battled for the race lead. Sturgis passed him. And for some reason, Devin Rogers we saw slow moving down there on the apron. Here comes Tim Bills into lap 215. And Sturgis will not give up the position willingly. He's going to make Bills fight for it. And in turns 1 and 2, side by side, Bills is going to put him 1 lap down here in 2:16. Quinn's going to follow by. He is in the lucky dog spot. If a caution would come out, he will get a wave around. But he still needs to pit. That is the question. Can and will it happen here tonight for the runner-up finisher? And he says to the heck with it, I'm going down pit road. He slowed up real quick So the 57 car of Sturgis rolls the dice, gambles, comes down pit road. The runner-up finisher in the Peak and a Free Series down on pit road. And I'm not sure we're going to see the car come up on Jax. He may be done. No, he just took fuel. No tires there. He took fuel. He comes back out. Although he did go into the pits, he's going to fall back to 18th position. 2 laps down as they were able to go by him while he was in the pits. Tough break there for the 57. Getting closer and closer to the 25 to go mark. Tim Bills, 117 led. Still leads around a 4/10 of a second gap, the 90 of Joe Quinn. To the inside of Wetmore. Matt Rolfe, another H&H signed supply car. Back there in 5th. Right behind the 98 of Ian Lane and Trevor Edwards. Lane and Edwards. 4th and 3rd respectively, and Edwards not able to get around that 32 Menards machine. Hard-fought battle here tonight. What a journey it has been for these drivers. 250 laps the distance. And they are giving it every little bit that they can. As we continue to follow the 5 of Matt Rolfe. So talking about payouts here tonight as we get closer and closer to the end. If Tim Bills picks up victory here tonight, it's going to be $100 going to the race winner. 75 to second, 56 to third, 47 to fourth, and $39 and some change to the top 5 driver. Less than 25 to go. Quinn looking to the inside. He's less than 2/10 of a second behind the 37 of Bills. It's going to be a hard-fought battle through this lap traffic, as nobody's giving courtesy to the leader. They're going to make him earn all the way to the checkered flag. Letarilio, Spearman just ahead. Bills looks to the inside. Spearman swings wide. Into the backstretch to the inside of Letarilio. Tim Bills through 3 and 4. As he crosses the start-finish line, 20 laps remain here in the Fall Brawl Spectacular Super Late Model Feature event. We're going to have to keep an eye on the 90 of Quinn. When will he strike? He's been stuck in the 37 car all night long. Out of turn 4 into lap 233. Trevor Edwards back in 3rd position. 3, 4, and 5 right there on the lower groove as Ian Lane and Matt Rolfe are battling hard. What a fall-off. It's about an 8-second fall-off between Rolfe and Snyder. Snyder back in 6th position. Has done a heck of a job tonight, starting 16th on the grid. He's been outside the top 10 a few times here tonight. Rallied the car back into 6th. About 9 seconds behind Rolfe, though. Jeremy Adams is in 7th behind him. With 15 to go, the caution flag is going to come out. That's going to peel 4 laps off that time, off the laps remaining. And Ian Lane. A lot of smoke out of the 98 car. A lot of smoke. Let's take a look at the replay here. What happened here with Ian Lane? Oh, wow. Right in front of Travis Howe. Up into the wall. And for a driver who was in the top 5, that's got to be a heartbreak moment right there. Let's go back one more time and take a look. Right there, he's going to slide up into the side and make contact with Houck. And just right around him and nearly flipping the car. Sparks are going to fly up into the wall. Unbelievable. Mental fatigue has got to be plaguing this 98 car. And with that, he's going to fall back outside the top 10 to 12th position. So with the shakeup in the lineup, the caution that PJ Sturgis needed came way late than what he would have liked. Let's take a look at the top 5. So when we go back to green, it'll be 10 laps to go. Tim Bills up front, back in second position. It is Joe Quinn, Trevor Edwards in third. Rolf now in fourth. Snyder into the top 5. Everybody moved up behind Ian Lane as Lane fell out. Pace car into the pits. Here we go. 10 laps to go this time by. Here comes Tim Bills to the green. This is where cautions could breed cautions, folks. The nerves are heightened. Everybody trying to gain a spot as Trevor Edwards fights to the inside of Quinn. In turns 3 and 4, he's going to run the lower groove. Will he come out ahead? Momentum gain from the 90 car keeps him at bay in the battle for second alive. Tim Bills shoots out to a 4/10 of a second lead. Quinn and Edwards battling for second with 9 to go. It'll be 8 to go when they come across the start-finish line. Big gap back there. And a lot of drivers making some contact and a big incident into turn number 1. And Wetmore, we follow Russell Berry in that. Ty Spearman with some heavy damage. Dial back the replay and let's take a look. Definitely see the drivers trying to fight for every battle as Martin is going to go right into the back of Robinson. Letterillo makes it 3 wide. Eddie, and wow, a big pile up there in turn 1. Almost the stacks incident. Wetmore says, I'm not going to be shoved up into the wall, and he lays on that throttle. Scott Dunlap, Ty Spearman, a couple of the drivers having some heavy damage out of that incident. We take one more look at this. Go on board with Ty Spearman. You get to see how fast everything can get chaotic in front of you. So Spearman, Hamlin, and Letterillo down on pit road. So it's 8 laps to go when the pace car came out. Quinn may have something left for Bills. As we continue to pace with 4 laps to go, we should see at least one, if not a 2-lap shootout. $100 on the line for the winner of the Fall Brawl Spectacular. Lights off the pace car. It's going to be a 2-lap shootout. One green, then the white, and then that checkered.
All right, man. Like it back on the pace car. We're not going green this time.
Race
We are not
control.
going green.
Race control says this thing is not going to end under yellow. We are going to have a green-white checkered shootout. So anything that happens when we go back to green is not going to end this thing under yellow. So it's going to be a green-white checkered, a fitting ending to the night. And Joe Quinn will have his opportunity to beat a guy who has led 145 laps this evening here at Five Flags. Just like overtime, in any sports game that you watch, this is where it comes down to one lap. One driver going to walk away victorious here tonight. Pace car into the pits for the final time. It all comes down to this. Here we go. Green flag flies. One more lap as the white flag's in the air, and Bills waste no time. Out of turn 2, and Edwards. Nobody was ready, and Tim Bills into turns 3 and 4 can say hello to $100. He's going to pick up the victory at the checkered flag. Quinn's going to hit the wall, and I think Edwards finishes in second. What a finish here at Five Flags Speedway, and the celebratory fireworks light up the sky off of turn number 2. What a brawl. Hence the term Brawl and Fall Brawl. And this guy right here fought through this field. He led some. He fell back. He pitted. He came back out. He led some more again, and he finished the job up front here tonight. As the fireworks still continue to roar in the backstretch, we are going to bring up the results screen for you, and we're going to get the top 3 drivers. Get a little bit of interview action here tonight. Before we do that, while we wait to get some interviews in here, we had a chance to talk with this guy last night. We're going to bring him in now. He's going to finish 6th here tonight. And just one outside of the number. You ran 5th a lot here tonight, Matt. And tell you what a night. Definitely put the word brawl to work here tonight at Five Flags. And your thoughts on tonight's race?
It was a great race all around as far as, clean race. think we only had, 4 cautions there or something like that. So last year in the fall brawl that we had 15 cautions. So this was a lot better showing here tonight. Pit strategy was a big part of how the finish ended up. Unfortunately, a lot of guys got bit by waiting out too long or trying to wait longer, and then they got stuck a lap down, and by that point it's too late. So the guys that pitted right around lap 150 were the ones that were up front there at the end. So it paid off for Tim Bills. Nice job to him. Congrats to him on the win. It's a big win for him.
Definitely is. While we got you and your opportunity to let everybody know about SARA, what the Fall Brawl means to you, and any shout-outs you want to give.
Well, for those that are watching, SARA, as you can tell, is a pretty damn good super late model league. We've got 3 other divisions as well. We've got pro late models, SK modifieds, and street stocks, at least for this season. We'll see what happens when Dirt comes out, but this league, it's got the best of the best short track drivers on iRacing, so I think it showed here tonight with as much green flag racing as we had and stuff like that. So got a lot of good stuff going on. And then now that we're out through the fall brawl, we're going to take a break for Thanksgiving, and then we're going to finish it up here with you on Thursday nights to crown the super late model champion.
A lot of the drivers definitely having something to be thankful for heading into next week. And congratulations to you again here tonight in a top 6 finish.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
There you have it, folks. Matt Rolfe, the hard-working guy behind the scenes, putting all this stuff on and together. Can't do it without him, and a big shout-out and a thanks to Matt Rolfe. We're going to go live now to Trevor Edwards, this 32 car here tonight. Trevor Edwards hailing. Where we say that we come out of here as I take a look at my list, and I'm going to look bad here, Trevor, but heck of a job done here tonight. I got to ask, we see the Menards paint scheme on the car. Is there a reasoning behind it?
No, not really. I just like the neon yellow and the black paint scheme. Just for some reason, I always run good in it, so I just kept it.
Well, starting 26 here tonight, and I got a Shepherdsville, Kentucky, the Wheelin' and Dealin' Motorsports and H&H Science Supply scored as your sponsors, as well as the Menards. But you go from 26 to 3rd, and we talked about pit strategy being one of the key things here tonight that could define, as we saw Tuesday night in the Pro Late Models, how it defined a finish tonight. What was your mentality and when you needed to get down pit road?
Coming into tonight, I didn't think I was going to pit before lap 200, but those long runs, we were right there under yellow, and Tim's like, well, I'm coming down, so I came down and followed him. I knew he had a good strategy probably, so figured I'd follow him. He was fast all night.
And it looks like it does pay off in your favor. You finished 3rd here tonight, and I believe, actually, we're going to bring Matt Rolfe back in here to talk a little bit about it. Finishing 3rd here tonight, I believe as we take a look, the payout's going to be $56 going your way. And Matt, is there any thanks? He's going to actually congratulate you here and give you the thanks for finishing 3rd in the fall brawl.
Yeah, nice run here, Trevor. I think you got had a pretty good run in the Pro Late Models as well, if I remember right. And obviously you showed you out of here tonight. His strategy worked off, and I was hoping I could get you out there at the end. You and Ian had a good battle going on. I was hoping I was going to catch you guys there at the right time, but worked out for you. Nice job.
Thanks. Yeah, we ran really good in the late models the other day, and then just screwed up on pit strategy and ended up finishing like, I think, 7th or something after running 2nd or 3rd all night.
Well, definitely a great run here tonight in the super late model feature. Is there any thanks or shout-outs you'd like to give?
I got to thank Tim Bills. He sent me the setup right before the race. He said, just run it and don't complain about how tight it is. And we got in the race, and it was about 20, 25 laps in. The thing came to life, and everybody else was falling off. And I knew we were going to have something there. That's when we drove up to, I think, 15th on that first little run. So just got to thank Tim Bills for all the setup work. He does awesome every week.
Well, a heck of a job done here tonight, Trevor. Still going to see some more action out of you in the super late model series. But, again, good job tonight to get 3rd place finish, and just say congratulations again.
Thanks, man. Thanks for broadcasting.
There you have it, folks. The 32 of Trevor Edwards coming in 3rd position. We're going to go live now and talk with Joe Quinn, one of the drivers here tonight that was battling it out with Tim Bills, and he hung in there. And Joe Quinn, the driver of that number 90 machine, started 2nd on the pole. He finishes 2nd, so no gain, no loss, but there was a lot of brawling in the middle. The North Royalton, Ohio driver, Last Row Motorsports. No last row for you tonight here, Joe. You finished 2nd up in front of Trevor Edwards. So tell us a little bit about your race and your thoughts.
That was a heck of a finish. I was just surprised. I've never run the SARA before, but we started off with a really long green run, so that kind of set the tone for the night. And I gotta thank PJ Sturgis and Joe Letteriello. I mean, we kind of worked on the setups all week to get the cars going pretty good. I think we all ended up with different stuff, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I didn't really have quite enough to get by Tim at the end. I just tried to time my restarts near the end. It didn't really work out for me, but it was a lot of fun. It was a good race.
Definitely was. You fought your way all the way through this field, every little inch, even through pit strategies. You pick up a second place finish, and I believe about $75, $76 going your way. To congratulate you for your runner-up finish here tonight in the Sim Auto Racing Association Fall Brawl Spectacular Super Late Model Feature Event, Matt Rolfe.
Yeah, nice run there, Joe. Like you had said, you never run with us before, but I kind of knew you were grouped in there with PJ and Joe there, and they ran here last year, I should say, in the Fall Brawl. So I'm glad they brought you with them, and definitely paid off for you. Nice run here tonight.
Yeah, I just gotta say thanks to the SARA guys and Matt for putting it on. It was really professional. I was very impressed, and I'm looking forward to running with you guys more often.
Well, definitely a great night here out of that 90 car. Do you have any additional or thanks you would like to give?
Just Last Row Motorsports. They kind of drug me into the pro racing thing, and it hasn't really been going our way. So to run second tonight, it kind of helps pick me up after the rough couple weeks we've had.
Well, hopefully with this kind of momentum and what we've seen here, maybe we could see you as a member of the Sim Auto Racing Association League and battling out with these guys on a weekly basis.
Yeah, I'd love to run more races with you guys. I highly recommend it to anyone watching in the broadcast. It's a great group of guys, and thanks again. It was just a lot of fun.
Well, definitely glad to watch you race out here and put on a heck of a show. Congratulations, Joe, on your second place finish here tonight.
Thank you.
We're going to go live now with the winner, and then we're going to come back and talk with one of the drivers who had an opportunity to still finish in the top 10. But right now we're going to go live to the winner tonight here, claiming the $100 grand prize. Total of 147 laps led on the night. He even fell outside the top 5, rallied that car back into the lead, and it was no looking back. Fought all the way to a green-white checkered finish here tonight. Started on the pole, one of the very difficult things for any driver to do. The Sturgis, Kentucky driver, the Wheeling and Dealing Motorsports teammate, H&H Sign and Supply. JustForCrafters.com, your winner here tonight in the Sim Auto Racing Association's Fall Brawl 2016 Spectacular Super Late Model Feature, Tim Bills. How are you doing tonight, Tim?
Oh, this is awesome. I'm super pumped to win this race here for my sponsor, H&H Sign Supply, JustForCrafters.com. And the Wheeling and Dealing Motorsports guys, we've been putting a lot of work into this, and I don't even know what to say.
Some of the thoughts on your racing here tonight. The 100 to go mark when the caution come out on lap 149, the decision to go down pit road at that time. You brought a lot of the field with you. What was your strategy in saying this is the time I need to go down pit road?
Well, I was hoping for we had them long green runs. That's what I was hoping for again. I thought we go in here and we pit and we have a long green run. The guys that don't, they've slowed up so much that we'd be able to get back around them. And I was almost second guessing it all the way down through there. I was just about ready to click the tires off and just take some fuel so I could make it. And then I got to try something here. And we went on. And once we started lapping them, I knew then we were going to be pretty good with it.
Well, pretty good you were, sir. You're able to take this car all the way to victory lane here tonight at Five Flags to present you with your congratulatory award, Mr. Administrator himself, Matt Rolfe.
It's nice to see you finally break that slump there, Tim. Seems like you've been having your fair share of bad luck, so nice to see you come out here with a big win and finish it off, and got a nice prize for you, about $100 there or so nice job.
Thank you, Matt. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate all the work you've done you've got into this, and all the guys at SARA. It was good to see us run up there, and Dustin, they did a good job here with Digital Forge.
Well, congratulations again on picking up the victory in the 2016 Semi-Auto Racing Association Fall Brawl Spectacular in the Super Late Model feature. Look to see some more action come out of you in the Super Late Model series. But, Tim, heck of a job here tonight, and congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, like I said, I was hoping for a good showing tonight. I haven't had too good showings all season, so I think I was looking forward to this one.
Well, before I let you go, do you have any additional or thanks or shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to our guys at Wheeling and Dealing. My sponsors, H&H Sign Supply. Then missing Cody being here, he had in something else that came up. So.
All right. Well, congratulations again, Tim, and we'll see you after Thanksgiving.
All right. Be seeing you.
There you have it, folks. What a great night. Matt, thanks again for the ceremonial presentation there for the top three. We're going to bring in a guy now real quick, a little wild card interview for you, if you will, the 98 of Ian Lane. I tell you what, a heck of a job tonight done by this driver, the number 98 of Ian Lane, starting 17th on the grid out of Mechanicsburg, Ohio. And as a fellow Buckeye myself, I got to give this guy a shout-out. Heck of a job done running that Lowe's car around the track here tonight, Ian. You got up there, you got some laps led. I believe it was a total of 28 laps led here tonight. Just a little bit of a mental hiccup in the backstretch there, and unfortunately ending your night. You're able to keep the car going, though, and finish in 8th position. Tell us a little about your night tonight.
Thanks for pulling me in here. It's completely unexpected. I made the set in warm-up of all places. I don't know. It was just a good long run car. And you just start getting in the top 5, top 3, and played the pit stops, just followed those guys in. I've lost races on not being and playing the wrong pit strategy, so I just wanted to be with the leaders, beat everybody off pit road, and just took the lead. And the car was just so good. Just some errors, but for doing this by myself, I think I showed everybody that I was here and I can compete with the best of them.
Well, definitely finishing 8th here tonight. You pick up, I believe it's around a $22 prize, so definitely a hard-fought battle there. Definitely came out in the black as far as your entry fee, and more action to come out of you in the SARA Super, or the GM Parts Expert Super Late Model Series. Going to see some more action out of this 98 car coming after Thanksgiving into December. Is there any thanks or shout-outs you want to give tonight for your 8th place finish?
I just want to say thanks to Michael Baxter. He's about the only person that really works with me, and thanks to Matt and everybody that runs the league. It's such a fun league. I'm almost here every night, so it runs like this. I've only won one race, so I feel like most people would probably quit if they ran 300 races and only won once. But nights like this is why I come back. It's just to have fun, and sometimes this stuff happens. It can happen to anybody.
Definitely does. Matt, do you have anything you'd like to say for Ian?
I was following him there for a while. It was a tough break to see him kind of get caught up in the couple lap cars that were running side by side there, just nowhere to go. And finally, one of them had to force the issue, and that's when Joe got ahead of him and made it 3 wide and dropped Ian back. And I was talking to him in one of the channels on there, trying to encourage him by Trevor, but couldn't quite get there. And then he had some bad luck there at the end. But it was fun to watch. It's nice seeing someone I would call an underdog sometimes to go up there and battle for the win and show these guys that he can do it too. And so it's nice to see.
Definitely a hard-fought battle here tonight for you, Ian. Congratulations again on finishing 8th. Even after the incident heading towards turn 3, you're able to bring this car into 8th position. Hard-fought battle. Congratulations. We'll see you heading into December when the Super Late Model Series picks up again.
Thank you.
Well, Matt, there we have it. What a night of racing it was, and definitely Tuesday night given a precursor to what we could expect all the way into tonight. And for 3 nights of events of being in fall and a little bit of brawl, we definitely got a little bit of both of those with the cooler temperatures and the hard-fought battles that we've seen out there on the field. Is there any thoughts or any final words you'd like to leave with the viewers tonight?
Just thanks everyone for tuning in and watching. This is our biggest event of the year. Had a lot of money on the line, had a prize up for grabs, and all these guys came out ready to race. And not just tonight. I got to thank all the drivers that participated in this event all week long. We put on 3 good races. we had a K&N race on Monday night that unfortunately the schedule didn't work out where we could broadcast that one, but that was a hell of a race. And then we had the Pro Late Models on Tuesday night, and that came down to a great finish at the end with Majeski and Cody Kelly there. And then I think tonight showed it all. We put 28 of the best Super Late Models out there, only had 3 or 4 cautions, whatever it ended up being, and these guys put on a good show. So I got to thank the drivers. It's all about them. I run this league. I got a lot of help from some other guys, some of my teammates and some other admins and stuff like that, but I do this league for all these guys. I race with them every week and all that, but I do it because it's a lot of fun having these guys have a place to race and be competitive and show everyone what they get. So just got to thank them, and I'm going to keep thanking people here before we go off. So I just got to thank our league sponsors, H&A Sign Supply. They came up big for here for the Fall Brawl. Put up a $200 purse just for this event, and we added that with the entry fees, and there's over $600 in the line. So big thanks to H&A Sign Supply. And then we have a lot of other sponsors as well. The Button Box shop put up a SARA themed button box for these guys that we'll give out at a later date. I got to pick a random winner for that. And then we had HydesPride.com on Monday night for the K&N race, and then all of our regular sponsors, GM Parts Experts, Callaway Investments, Area 52 Designs, Toxic Media Solutions, all those guys. Big thanks to everyone, and thanks again for you, to you, Dustin, for putting this on for us. It was a fun event.
Well, it definitely was a pleasure to be able to watch such great racing in action 3 nights in a row, Matt, and I appreciate the opportunity to be able to broadcast for you guys.
All right, thanks a lot.
Well, there you have it, folks. 3 nights of racing comes to a conclusion, however you want to say it, here this Thursday night, but it did not go easy. It did not go quietly. It came down to a green-white checkered, and in the end, the 37 of Tim Bills emerges victorious here at Five Flags. Top 10's been on the screen all night long as we finish. Joe Quinn in second, Trevor Edwards third, Clay Snyder fourth. Schaefer Jr. finishes out the top 5. Matt Rolfe, Jeremy Adams, Ian Lane, Matthew Eddy, Sean Hatfield will pick up a top 10 here tonight. Tom Wetmore, PJ Sturgis finishes 12th. Bill Martin, Scott Dunlap, Derek Robinson, Devin Rogers 16th. Russell Berry, Stephen Janis, Ty Spearman, Garrett Strakota through 20. Travis Haug, Joe Letterillo, Paul Fugit, Darrell Hamlin, Hunter Combs, Ty Majeski early on will finish 26th, and Ben Nile on the night will finish shotgun in 27th position. Really hope you enjoyed the racing that took place here tonight. Definitely want to give a thanks, as Matt did, to the sponsors, H&H Sign Supply Incorporated, HydesPride.com for quality leather and sheepskin products. You can find them on the web at HydesPride.com. The Button Box Shop, providing the button box that we described earlier as SARA-themed button box for the winner, Tim Bills. GMPartsExperts.com for quality GM parts. You can find them on the web at GMPartsExperts.com. Great night of racing taking place. Thanks to everybody who tuned in, whether you got us on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook Live, or iRacing Live. We do thank you for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. I'm Dustin Caldwell saying we'll see ya. More racing to come. You definitely want to tune in. Good night, everyone.